Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Psicast. I'm your host, Robert Marcy. I'm joined here with Bill Montana.
Hey.
Hey, Bill. So what are we going to talk about today?
Oh, we got some big news. Eugene Berger died on the 8th.
Yeah.
Which just hit today. That's probably the biggest piece of news we got.
Yeah, I got that from Ross Johnson this morning. I'm like, oh, you guys, really?
Yeah, so Ross blew it up, and Jeff's made a couple comments, McBride, because Berger was a big member of the mystery school out in Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's obviously sending some shockwaves out there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I thought we'd do a little bizarre magic or discussion on bizarre magic today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Seems appropriate.
Oh, yeah. Especially given the time right now, yeah.
And, Halloween's coming up and a couple months away. So, and there's quite a bit of stuff in bizarre that could be discussed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Now, not that mentalists would need to add a completely bizarre act, but, a lot of us are going to be doing seances here in a couple months again, and a few others will be doing maybe some more spiritualist-related stuff because, October seems to be a time where we can sell that kind of venue.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to some stores, you can already see Halloween stuff being put out already. So, just the season.
Yeah, and realistically, like once every 5 years, you see some really cool stuff in the Halloween props.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
It's about once every 5 years, maybe twice every 5 years, but sometimes you find some really cool stuff, and then you just watch it. Price will come down, buy them out. Probably got enough to do what you need to do.
Right.
But some of that Halloween stuff does, carry over into the field of bizarre. A lot of the boxes, mainly. Boxes are getting hard to get. Good boxes, anyway.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, what's your favorite bizarre piece?
Ooh. Ooh, that's a really good question, Bill. Because there's a good couple of them. There is a piece that I really like to do, which basically deals with doing like an out of body by location type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they actually see some evidence of it. It involves blood and gore and stuff like that. So it's
you talking about a piece from Hilford?
Yeah.
Which was called?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's called. Oh gosh, I can't even think of it. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to remember here. It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I'm almost there.
Yeah, right now Robert's going over to, what is it, iMentalism?
No. No, actually it's Mephisto's Journey.
Yeah, Mephisto's Journey. Go to iMentalism over to Doc's site. It's iMentalism, isn't it?
No, iEntertainer.net.
iEntertainer.net. Scratch that. iEntertainer.net. Yeah, go over there and see what he's got out new.
Okay.
Because half the time he puts out stuff and doesn't tell anybody about it.
Right. Okay, so right now he's got Shame, which is new one. We've talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
What else has he got?
Yeah, and then he's got the Dream Book. We talked about that as
that came out finally. Okay.
Blackmail, Perfect Clairvoyance, great piece. And then he's got a seance package, and he talks about different various seances.
Okay. What's the description on the seance work, and how much is that one? So we're talking about that stuff this week.
Okay, yeah, the standard price on the seance package is $649, but you get you get the whole works. So,
it's $649.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got the Horrors of the Orient seance, the Communion seance, the Freak Show seance, H.P. Lovecraft's From Beyond, the Barbed Wire Spirit Tie, and then he's got like 7 more that's going to come out after this.
They're all included in this package then?
And they are all included in this package.
That's not bad, because I remember a couple of those were like $300 when it came out.
Yeah, I think it's
cool.
$300 for just one.
Yeah, some of those were quite expensive, so that's a pretty good deal if you're into seance work.
Absolutely.
And he's got that cool little iPad post-it notey thing, which I can never remember the name of.
Yeah, the bachelor's pad.
Yeah, the bachelor pad. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one for you mentalist guys out there. It's a nice little imp pad. How much is that? How much is the bachelor pad now?
Yeah, the bachelor pad is actually, I think if I remember correctly, it is $49. $49.
Oh, that's a good price.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's not bad at all. Because I think John Riggs' Butterfly is up to like $29.30, which is still cheap for that. But between the two of those, man, there's a lot you can do. Mm-hmm.
Right. But what I really like from Doc is the Wizard Manual. The Wizard Manual, it's kind of like the Pegasus page, but frankly, I like that one better than the original, because the original seems pretty clunky, but the Wizard's Manual is more streamlined. I really, really like it, and he actually came out with another alternative, but it's done in a complete spook show seance setting. So it's called the Horrors of the Orient.
Okay.
And then, yeah. So
then early on, Doc came out. I can't remember the name of it. It was a board with a dictionary iPad test. Had about 1,000 patient notes in it. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if you remember that one. You ever seen that one? Jesus Christ, man.
No, I don't
weighed like
remember
40 pounds. Yeah, this is back in the late 80s. It weighed like 40 pounds.
Oh, wow.
The reams of paper he got with it. And we get him on my own talk about it, because it was really kind of an interesting thing, but it was so massive that, it was just a massive project. It took him years to get that thing on market, and he didn't make that many of them, but it was pretty cool. I got a buddy that's got one, so I don't even know about it anymore. But then, Doc, not to forget on seance, let's not forget about Brian Flora, He released some cool stuff, because that's where I think Doc did his early seance video, right? With Brian Flora?
Yeah.
Flora?
Yeah.
And I heard Jan's back, but I can't confirm that. That's Brian's wife that's selling some stuff, but nobody seems to get any responses, so we're not really sure what's going on there. There was something there for a minute, and then it was gone, and typical, Yeah. They put out some great stuff early on for the Psychic Entertainer. And Brian Flora was primarily known for making organ grinder boxes.
Yes.
For your pet monkey.
Right.
That you use in your TA water seance. He's not out grinding organ.
Wow.
Yes, TA Waters did publish an effect called Use a Trained Monkey. Use a trained monkey in a seance, in a blacklight seance. What a great idea. Took me a while to find a trained monkey. Found out he's kind of expensive, though.
Right.
That's a good gaff, man. They'll never see that coming. Hit him upside the head with poo from across the room. Bam! Monkey's tone poo. I love that shit. Yeah, so, I mean, when you look at seance, there's a very large body of literature out there. Unfortunately, most of it is crap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in my opinion, I mean, most of it doesn't play well. I mean, it plays well with an audience who's just sitting in a chair going, watching some dude spout off, but a lot of it doesn't really play that well, The seance is one of those things that's really about interaction. It's not just you, it's them. There's a whole interactional element there that has to be maintained through the seance, because you can't look at them like they're spectators in the seance. That's really not correct. There are more participants in the seance, which is, I guess, more correct. But actually, when you break it down, it's like everybody at the table is involved. There's no, I mean, you may be the leader of the group, but, they're equally of importance.
Mm-hmm.
And most time more important than the actual performer,
Oh, yeah.
Or the person conducting the affair. It's just, I find it interesting. I've seen a few other people's seances. I didn't really like them because they weren't, I don't think they were spelling off a bunch of stuff about this person doing this back, and it was all crap. None of us were true. They were spelling off this early seance stuff. And, when you go back and look at it, when you go back and actually research the historical documents, what you find is a different story. Like none of that happened, dude. It's all bullshit. They lied to you again.
Uh-huh.
You keep buying into it. Those were creations.
Right.
And you don't catch it. You don't catch it. You don't catch it immediately, and that's what I think is interesting about when you study seance work. You don't catch the fact that the stories you just read about these mystical seances were completely made up. Like they never happened. Nobody was ever there. The building was empty that day. The whole nine. It's really kind of odd. But they were selling this. Seances at one point were sold as a propaganda tool.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. But we do have seance work does bring forth a bunch of very interesting apparatus. Right now, some of this apparatus, like spirit hands, were never really used by any actual seance workers in the spiritualist community. Those were all magician devices created by magicians for magicians to use in pseudo-seances. But, yet those devices are still pretty interesting. Like right now, I think they still got it at Stevens as a Floyd Thayer seance hand. Early ones, like 950. It's a really nice example, though. It's still got a lot of its original paint and stuff. It's not all torn up. It's a really pretty good example of a spirit hand. We usually don't see examples that are, maintained very well. But there's actually, several types of spirit hands. Are you aware of that?
No.
Yeah, there's the knocking type, the type that taps out messages. There's a couple different values. Some of them work on thread, some of them work on magnets, some of them just work on tilt. Ceramic, wood, with the plaster wood. It's kind of a ceramic plaster wood type thing. A lot of the early wood ones, the really nice ones, were actually coated over with like a slip coat. They gave them a real smooth finish, and they painted that. That was pretty cool. There's cloth types. The idea of the pure plaster hand goes back to Jonathan Coons, and the infamous Jonathan Coons. They learned, built the first seance room in America and here in Ohio in 1852. which lasted up till 1858. So the villagers came over one night with torches and burned it down to the ground like some scene out of Frankenstein. And ran him out of town. It's an interesting story there. I got the Coons Spirit Room, which would be Jonathan Coons and John Tippy. John Tippy had a bunch of daughters, and one of his daughters is a medium. That's where Coons went to get a reading, and she told him, the voice from the spirit told him to build this spirit room. So Nathan Coons, his son, actually built the room. It's actually pretty cool. There's a pretty good little tale there. And the seance style was very different. You know, I talked about that in a couple of my work, because I like that early, realistic 1850s, 1860s kind of style of seance. You know, where it starts off by shooting guns, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Guns in a seance, I think is pretty cool. Yeah. They would start off in the house, eating oysters and other things. And after they fasted, they would eat oysters. They would fast for, about 12 to 24 hours. And then they'd eat some oysters and stuff. And then sometimes they'd go out, if they ate oysters, they'd go outside. If they didn't eat oysters, they just did the fast, they would just do the fast, which sets up a trance-like state. Then they go out in a pitch-black environment, out of the house into the cabin, or towards the cabin. But before they got to the cabin, they grab old muskets and fire those off in rapid succession. So you have the smell of burning gunpowder and flashing lights and loud pops, trying to wake up the spirit world. They go inside the room with a bunch of instruments, single small table and benches along the wall. And Jonathan would sit at the table with a piece of paper and a pen. And they would grab instruments, start playing weird musical instruments. They put those down, and then he's at the table with one single candle, writing out his spirit messages. And at some point, the candle would go out, and music would start filling the room again, played by the spirits. And then people would shake hands with the spirits, which is actually a plaster hand. Very cool, actually. But you realize 1850 outside at night was dark. You know what I mean? Because there was no ambient lighting from the cities or anything. There was no lights at all, It was just black. If it was a moonless night, it was really dark.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Kind of a cool little time. And then you got, Conan Doyle writing a bunch of stuff on attending spiritualist-style seances. You have another Ohioan, Hudson Tuttle, wrote a tremendous amount of work on spirit contact and spiritualism. Also from Ohio, by the way. Interesting. A lot of spirit stuff went down in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Mount Ord, Mount Nizo, Hudson Tuttle, which was up by, actually up towards you. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah, they always keep writing a book on spirit hauntings in Ohio every year, updated version.
Yeah, it's mostly ghost stuff. And some of that's good, some of it's bad. But you have a lot of weird anomalous activity here too, with the old Indian mounds and all that. So it seems to be a hotbed for some paranormal activity for some reason. At times.
Right.
But it is interesting when you get back and look at a lot of this, early history of the thing. We're talking about 1850s. I'm talking about right after the Fox sisters. How fast it rapidly grew. And if you looked at Andrew Jackson Davis's work, Arcanum of Nature, you see in there where he's contacting spirits to provide medical advice. It just gets really bizarre. And that predates the Fox sisters by a few years. But it's interesting where you see this progression, progression of change and this weird stuff going on. And then the question you always got to ask yourself, where did three girls in 1848, 1850 learn about ghosts? In a primarily religious belt, known as Hyattsville, New York. You know, because you got a bunch of religions that come out of that little burned over, what they call the burned over district now as its nickname. But you have a multitude of religious societies coming out of there, you know. And none of them would be preaching about ghosts, really. They'd be talking about, you know, the Messiah and the saints and the disciples and stuff like this. Where do you know? Methodism was big. The Oneida groups are up there. The Quakers, the Mennonites, the Shakers. You know, I mean, there's a bunch of religious, like 15 or 16 of them actually that came out of this particular district. Although the Methodists came into the district from elsewhere, but it's still pretty interesting, though. You know. When you start asking bigger questions on seance, where did 3 young girls get the idea of ghosts at?
Right.
I'm not going to answer that question, but that's an interesting question.
It is a good question to ponder.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically in a Bible Belt. But there are things just a few miles away that reveal the answers to those questions. But yeah, it's interesting now, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because campfire stories like that didn't appear in a lot of the books. I mean, they had a few, 1 or 2 in like the 1700s, but there wasn't a tremendous belief in any of that, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Just makes one think. But no, when we look at bizarre magic, for example, you know, we have to look back at the roots of it all, you know? Especially if we go into, like, seance stuff. We got to go back and at least look at those early roots of the seance, because we do see a progression, you know, from the 1852 seances that were conducted by Jonathan Coons in the first spirit room all the way through to this modern age. Right? Because the seance style has varied quite radically and become different as we go on. The 20s to 40s had a very different style of seance than they were running in the 1880s and 1890s. And then we look at, you know, again in the 60s and 70s, we had a very updated kind of thing, but not really updated, kind of just more convoluted. And then, you know, we had a paradigm shift around the time M.R. Keating and Alan Sprague released Psychic Mafia, you know, exposing the swindles at Camp Chesterfield, Indiana, which is not too far from us. And then the whole new genre took off, and it became more of a fake thing, you know, as opposed to people playing it real. And there's still guys that still run around and do an old-style box seance. Sign up in advance and put your questions in the box and spirit drawings and stuff like that. When he comes down, he makes about $2,500 for an hour, and he's gone. It's a good record right there. Woo! $2,500 in a switch box and some spirit drawings. Bam! I'm out of here.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hustle, man. $150 a seat or something. Averages about 20 people. Yeah. You don't need many people. I mean, that's the kind of cheese, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that still going on that, well, if you're up in Florida, you know, you can take a trip by Casadega, or Indiana, you can go by Chesterfield. You know, New York, you can go into Lilydale. You know, which I'd recommend for any guy starting out doing seances or speaking to the dead or any of that kind of stuff, you know. Roll through and look around, you know. And maybe get a reading or two from one of the workers there. But the idea here is, too, to hit the bookstores. Because they got really nice bookstores on spiritualism. Like Chesterfield's one, you can buy spirit trumpets for like $40, $50. Aluminum ones, too. Nice ones. They used to sell them in tin, but the guy makes them in aluminum now. But these are the collapsible, ungapped spirit trumpets. But they're probably about 3-4 feet tall. They're pretty cool. But you got to go there pretty much in person and go to the bookstore, which after you go in the gate, it's just around the corner. But once you grab, get in there, there's a lot of good literature in there, too. It gives you a lot of context to do a lot of different types of seance work, actually. But, Bizarre, and then Bizarre splits off, Bizarre starts up in the, 70s? Well, by the 70s, it was getting pretty popular. I mean, might have started a little earlier. Tony Andruzzi, Charles Cameron, Tony Raven, Power Heron, Brother Shadow. They started promoting a new style of mixing magic with storytelling. It's just beautiful, actually.
Oh yeah.
And then we get we get guys on the scene, the next generation, Robin DeWitt, Kador, Ricardor, the guy with the Swami and the antenna in it. So it's a great act. One of the best acts ever. Hey, you guys might be able to find a video of that act online because it's great. His opening's phenomenal. You do a book test in there, and but his opening was just, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Rebecca will jump in the back. I know what you're thinking, and leave. That was the opening of the act. Just walk out, tell them what they're thinking, leave. And that's bait to get him back for more. What a great act. What a great act. And then, by the 80s, wonderful guys like Ed Solomon, that put out just tremendous amounts of work. Yeah, but all those guys are pretty much dead now, except for maybe Shadow. Shadow's in the nursing home somewhere. But, it's an interesting history, though. When you start to go back and look through the pages of magazine or zines at the time, like Invocation or Bascom Jones Magic, you see a lot of really, really cool ideas being published in this Bizarre thing, or Mary Tolman, Ultra Flame. Oh, what a monumental work that is, man. That's pure Bizarre. But I mean, there's really a good core of stuff still out there,
Right. I mean, one of the things I was going to talk about, but we didn't. I forgot about was that Tony Andruzzi had a really great DVD, videotape back then, but now it's a DVD on the Flora Company site.
Yeah, well, you talking about Unspeakable Acts, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that got revised at one point.
Yeah, I believe it did get it did get revised, but I'll tell you, there's some really good stuff in there.
That was I can't think of his name right now, Jim something, that did a lot of the revision on that.
Mhm.
But yeah, great stuff. But a lot of these guys are getting into Bizarre now and trying to turn it into street magic. That ain't right, dude.
Yeah.
Bizarre's not street magic, fuckers.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it's not. What are you gonna do? Tell a 3-second story with a 2-second effect? Come on, quit it.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that I think is important for guys starting out, don't want to get into Bizarre magic. For the love of God, study some storytelling, please.
Uh-huh.
Because, Bizarre magic really isn't about the magic. It's there's something else going on that's really quite remarkable in Bizarre. And a lot of guys, a lot of the magician types don't get it, you know what I mean? Because we're not really all that focused in on the trick. We're focused in on this really clever tale that relatively dark, but and then something happens. I mean, it's just a different format. And a lot of the methods were originally in Bizarre were out of the, teens through 1940s, just simple magic methods. They just converted over to very strange works. Like some of the stuff that, Tony Andruzzi had put down under the title of Masculine Damage. Was redrafts on stuff he wrote when he was Tom Palmer.
Exactly.
Yeah, the same person, by the way. Yeah, there was an interesting story guy I was talking to. Well, you knew Tom Palmer, and then he comes out and he says, "Oh, hey, how you doing, Tom?" Tony says, "I'm telling you now, Tom is dead." So Tom died off, and Tony Andruzzi came about. So, but it's just interesting, though,
Yeah.
Because it's really about. It wasn't about character development so much as it was about becoming the character, And the guys that pushed the envelope in Bizarre were the guys that just became this other creation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Andruzzi, Brother Shadow. I mean, they kind of when they did it, they became somebody else. It was really cool stuff. And all that stuff. I mean, Masculine Damage stuff is really hard to get. Not much of it made. Brother Shadow stuff, pretty thin. Even if you can find a piece or two.
Yeah.
Guys are like me, they're trying to gobble it up. But a lot of it just doesn't circulate,
Mhm.
Because you had to buy it straight from it wasn't stuff that was sold in the magic shops. Which is, in a way, you think about it, was kind of a smart move, actually.
Right.
Because a lot of it had to be ordered from the creator through, one of the magic magazines, like Invocation or Baskin Jones Magic, okay, or on rare occasion maybe Linking Ring, but most of the time it was more the kind of published underground. If you happened to know about Alder Flame, you would have bought Alder Flame and then had ads from the other guys.
Yeah, even to this day, there's a lot of obscure things that you can't get your hands onto, like through traditional sites.
Yeah, and those things become like relics of Bizarre Magic. They're like historical pieces. It's not like something you'd actually, although you could use them, like the stones painted by Brother Shadow for casting fortunes, or the dice he made to, roll out and get off a pretty good question. But a lot of that stuff was, his dice pendulum sets or sound sets, his little pendulum. By today's standards of the buying crowd, it doesn't look that good, They look at that stuff and go, "That looks like shit, man. Look at that. Hands, I could do that myself." Yeah, but you're not Brother Shadow, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
He didn't help pioneer an entire genre. That's why we buy his stuff. All right, he's pioneering a genre. We're not buying it because, we can make it ourselves. Of course we can make it ourselves, and we can make it 10 times better. But that's not the reason we buy it, We buy it because there's historical interest there.
Right.
He's one of the guys that helped pioneer a movement,
Yeah.
Same reason you idiots like to buy that Houdini crap for way too much money. It's the same thing. Pretty much, Just some of us in Bizarre Magic have more respect for, guys like Charles Cameron, Brother Shadow, Tony Raven, and Tony Andruzzi, and we're Masculine Mage, than we do for Houdini. Lots of this stuff's more interesting. You're not screaming,
"Oh, absolutely.
It's fake. As they teach a psychic how to do this stuff so they can bust them later. Yeah, right. Of course it's fake. You taught the fucker how to do it. So you could bust him so you could become famous. Yeah, we know you're skating. These guys did the old-fashioned way. They worked their ass off. I don't know. It's an interesting job. Studying the history of invocation alone is just baffling.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Some of you older guys will understand what I'm talking about, but newer guys, too bad.
Yeah.
You missed it. It was right there. You could have got into it. No, you're out playing with Sponge Bunny.
Yeah, and your hippity-hop rabbits.
Yeah. They were made in Hong Kong. They weren't even good hippity-hop rabbits at that time. Pretty sad. Yeah, who else we got in Bizarre that was putting out some really cool stuff?
Well, let's see. Alon New came out with a couple of Bizarre pieces for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Still does. Yeah. He had a set of lecture notes. I believe, if I remember, it was called Bizarre 6, but don't quote me on that one. I just can't remember exactly what or it might have been just Alon New on Bizarre Magic, but it really, he had some really good pieces in there. And he also came out with a really cool voodoo doll effect. So,
yeah, but aren't those all? I think the voodoo doll is back on the market, but the Bizarre stuff's off the market, right?
Yeah, the Bizarre stuff is off the market.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had some, unpublished routines, and when you look at them, they're like pretty freaking good. I mean, I've got a copy, but if you can find your own copy somewhere, get it, because you won't be seeing that anywhere, because he ain't selling it no more. At least for now.
I heard a rumor. There's actually videotapes of Alon doing dove magic back in the day.
Yes. I only saw pictures of him doing dove magic, but the actual.
Yeah, but I heard there's like videotapes or films. Denny might have them.
Right.
He studied with Denny on that. I'd like to see Alon doing some, popping some doves, man. Dove split. There you go, motherfucker. Young Alon doing a dove split.
Yeah, rip off a dove's head and then make blood gush out and then put it right back together. He's alive.
Well, he used to do like dove splits and dove appearances and stuff. I guess he was really good at it too.
Mhm.
But this is way back.
Wow.
Well, that's when he was living up in Massachusetts or whatever, studying under Denny.
Yeah.
And he said at one time Denny was the highest paid performer in the world, so that would be a good choice to study under there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And then other guys came along later and beat him out, like Henning, Copperfield, and Fantasio and stuff. But at one time, Denny had the title, baby. Don't forget it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can imagine Alon New, being the mystic, the mentalist, and things of that nature, and that here he is doing dove magic. I mean, some people can find it being hard to picture that, but he actually did that.
Yeah.
For a while, So I remember seeing those pictures in his office when I went to visit him. And he had some pictures of him doing doves.
Yeah, he'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to watch, just for nostalgia's sake,
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we can all use that little break to see other, to appreciate other types of performances, just to, get away from what we are in for a little while,
Yeah. There's word that Riggs might release his card magic and SpongeBob work and his linking ring
Really?
work. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Just a little fun thing to do, you know. But he's got some really cool linking ring work.
Mm-hmm.
Like his slip drop link thing, it's just flawless. It's not your typical, you know, typical work, but it's pretty good actually.
Uh-huh.
Because he taught it to guys that were pitching live. And they started making money, how to pull a tip, you know, how to pull a crowd. I mean, it's going to be a pretty cool series, actually, if he ever puts it out. He gets done with his Chinese fortune-telling book. His Ching.
Uh-huh.
This is what I think he's working on now. That's going to be a phenomenal book. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming just around the corner. But you got to keep your eye out for it, you know.
Mhm.
Because a lot of us are not going to be there for long.
Oh yeah.
And there's some good fortune telling stuff coming out too. Like the new pendulum boards look great. With the walnut and the gold inlay. The gold infill that I just put out with the copper band. Yeah, those look really good. But yeah, so you know, there's gonna be some cool stuff coming down the road. I didn't really know what to say. It kind of threw me off when found out Burger's dead, but yeah, whatever. Guess he had cancer or something for the last couple of years.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I noticed that he was kind of not doing well, you know.
He was just out in Vegas doing mystery school not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Saw some ads for that, so. And most of his living came from, you know, table hopping. God, that's a rough life, man.
Oh gosh. Yeah, table hopping. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you got a couple of gigs doing some of that.
Yeah.
That shit would kill you, man. It's rough. That's rough work, man. That's rough work.
Yeah, it's too.
Yes.
It's too rough.
Yeah. It's not like your little cush minimalist jobs and, you know, other stuff you do. Corporate entertainment.
Right.
It's a lot more fun than table hopping's grind, man. I really think busking is a lot easier than table hopping, you know?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you may make more money table hopping, but, you know, you're always going to guarantee pay, but, you know, you got a little bit more freedom busking than you do table hopping. And that's rough.
It is. It's rough. You know, you got two people you got to deal with. You got to deal with customers, and you got to deal with management.
And then staff.
People that hired you.
Yeah. You're not in the damn waiter's way. It's just rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just rough, grueling work, man. I don't know how people do it.
Exactly. What
else we got this week? Anything? We don't really have anything this week. I mean, this week's kind of an off week. We got some special guests coming up and some future episodes. But we seem to have a little, you know, everybody's on tour in the summer, trying to make some money, make their money for the year, so we're kind of at an impasse. We got a whole bunch of cool guys coming up, and we might have a Vegas legend coming up, so.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully we can make that happen.
That's going to be big.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
And we are not kidding. I mean, this, yeah.
It's old school Vegas. This isn't new school Vegas either. This isn't like, you know, the David Copperfield thing. This is old school Vegas. This is old Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that when it gets arranged and everything gets set, we'll be doing that one here probably pretty soon, actually. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
And then we get some other runners that are going to be popping in from time to time. So hopefully we'll be back on a normal schedule once everybody, again, as I said, is off tour. Because I got a couple tours coming up. I think you got some stuff you got to do. You got some corporate stuff coming up, and I got some fair stuff coming up, so we'll be traveling a bit. And then hopefully by the end of October, everything will be back to normal. So, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Except for, you know, a few Christmas shows or whatever. But
yeah.
It's kind of an off week, actually.
Yeah, it's just been crazy.
Yeah, I really don't have anything. I've been babbling for 40 minutes or so. I think it's enough.
Yeah. There's no new products that I'm aware of yet, so maybe we'll have some for the next one.
Yeah, hopefully somebody puts something cool out that at least gets our attention. Oh, Tom Phoenix put out Smoke and Fire. Is that what it's called?
No. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. No,
it wasn't new. It's you take a piece of paper, then burn it, and it has an image inside the burn, like square, circle, triangle, or whatever. Really, really kind of sneaky the way he's done that.
Yeah, Black Flame.
Black Flame. There was a couple different names for it early on, so. But that is officially on the market right now, and you can get that over at wonderingmagic.com.
Yeah, wonderingmagic.
He just moved his site. His site looks a little different too. He's redid the entire thing.
Yeah, it's wonderingmagic.com.
Yeah, you see it looks better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Well, are you on the side by any chance right now?
Yeah.
You are. How much is the new one?
Black Flame is $20.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty cool. And you get some video links with that you can check out everything. He's pretty detailed on his descriptions on that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and those of you who don't know Tom, yeah, he's a genius. Genius thinker.
Yeah. And he's actually a beard, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Longest beard in mentalism, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the longest beards in the history of mentalism, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the video. You listen to Tom's hands and then doing stuff and the big beard. Yeah. So, yeah. Check out Tom's work. We love Tom's work, but I know a lot of guys didn't like it early on. But, Tom's stuff, man, he's going to give you these concepts that are brilliant, and you can apply them in different ways, But this new one, I've never seen this particular use before, and I did some of the background checking to see if it was actually used anywhere. I couldn't find it. So it looks pretty new. Because I checked through a lot of the Slade stuff and a few other things, and I did not see anything similar to this process. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just wanted to make sure, he wasn't like, somebody else released it, and I haven't seen it, so. Because somebody released it, probably been a spiritualist, or something to that effect that would be used this kind of method.
Right.
But nope, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. Until he did it. It looks pretty cool. And then his Book of Life. Book of Life? Yeah, Book of Life. It's got I think it's got the hot cold book in it that you can build yourself. That's way cool. I don't know if that's still on the market.
If I'm, let me see here. Are you talking about the hot cold book?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's got the Book of Light. That was the first one. The second one was the Book of Wonders, and the third one was the Book of Odyssey.
Okay. I'm not sure which one the hot cold book's in, then.
Yeah.
Because he debuted that out in Vegas, and it was pretty. There's a ton of stuff you can do with that, guys. Just that alone. Yeah. Especially for bizarre magic, just pick a topic, man. You can make the book hot or cold, one or the other. But a book that heats up, tell me there's not a whole bunch you can do with that. Or a book that gets icy cold, or just about anything else, really. it's a pretty sneaky little method too. But it doesn't look weird. You know, the book could be laying on the table right there in front of everybody.
Yeah.
They touch it, it's a normal temperature book. Sweat upon the ancient book. Push your hand upon the ancient book. And then they touch it again, it's hot as hell. It's burning up. It's a really, really sneaky method. Fairly repeatable, too. I mean, it's not like, it's not a chemical method. Thank God.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, all right, cool. All right, is there anything else? Because we're reaching around the top of the hour, so.
Yeah, I got to pack that thing. Let's go ahead and wrap it up then, and we'll talk to these guys next week.
Okay, great.
Couple weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah, all right. We'll see everybody in a few weeks on the next episode of Psicast, and we'll have more information. So peace out. We'll see you later.